I'm Jacqueline Rolls and I'm a mixed media visual artist, predominantly working with creating different types of sculpture and different forms. I work with natural materials, willow, and more recently experimenting with found and different materials I can use in my work. Several years ago, I realised that I wanted to take a new direction with my work and that I really wanted to take time out to experiment and create and connect with space. By working in a venue, it's about trying to pick up on what's there and using that as an inspiration to start me off. So I might go in, and I have at my time here, not really knowing what I'm going to create when I get there. It's interesting because trying to find ways to connect with a place is really challenging sometimes. When I arrived here at Tudor House, I looked at what was in the garden because I feel really comfortable working with natural materials. Talking to the gardeners and the people here, they allowed me to use some of the materials. By the physicality of connecting with the materials, it helped me to get into a place where I could then move on and create something different. When I'm working with willow, normally I work in a very formulaic way to some degree because I'm working and creating an object that I already know what I'm intending to do. Whilst I've been here, I've taken a very different focus. So it's been a very organic way of working, which means that I didn't start off with a particular idea. I didn't know what I wanted to create. And this is quite scary because it takes me out of my normal comfort zone and find new ways of doing things. When I started creating my large sculpture, I was inspired by some of the plants in the garden to create something that was almost bulbous in shape. Instead of having a fixed object in mind, I've just been creating. So when I started the bulbous shape, that just felt right. It connected with the things that were around me that I was attracted to. And then as time went on, I started creating, and by nature it just felt comfortable to keep on going round and round and moving a shape. But then I got to a stage where I realised that I was going in a direction I didn't really want to be in. So I spent an afternoon and talked to Katie, my mentor, which was really important and really valuable. She helped me to sit back and think about what my purpose and my focus was and why I wanted to do the work that I'm doing. So I'd got to a stage where my sculpture was turning into this almost bird-like form with a long neck because they were suggesting to me it looked like a bird. So after talking to her, I found that quite difficult. But it actually was really refreshing because I thought, why am I here? What am I trying to do? So I went in with a pair of secateurs and cut my sculpture to pieces, which was a really scary thing to do, but something that I knew to push myself away from doing something comfortable, I had to do that. When I first came here, I knew that I'd have to spend time getting to know people and that it would take me time to immerse myself in being in the venue. And I think it's something that I didn't really know where I would go, where my journey would take me. And now I look back, I realise how important it was an experience.
It's been fantastic having Jackie here. She's been really interactive with the volunteers. They've been asking plenty of questions. She's been part of the team here at Tudor, really. And they've all learnt a lot from that experience and seeing her. And I think she's also learnt a lot from them and being in the venue and the stories they've got and the experiences that they have, which I think can be seen influenced in the work that she's been able to do here. This venue has seen so many changes through the years. I think the thing to keep in mind about history is that it's only history when we look back on it, but in actual reality it's all present because at some point it was the present. So to have something that is contemporary here, for me, is really in keeping with the story of this house as well.
When I first came here, I didn't know what questions to ask. I didn't know what things I might need to know. Partly I've had to ask for help or support or ask the right questions of people that I've worked with as things have come about. So it's almost not being able to preempt what might be able to happen. It's given me a lot more knowledge and information about the types of questions that might be useful to have asked in the beginning and to have had the knowledge of in the beginning, which I couldn't know because I hadn't gone through the process. You learn by doing, whereas now I know what questions would have been useful to ask. And so if I worked on another project, I would already have a much stronger starting point to work with. I really like that challenge of not necessarily knowing where I'm going with it and taking myself in this new direction. It's something I want to do a lot more of. It's really fed into me wanting to work much more within an area and carry on doing more work here. I really have enjoyed working in the old part of the city and not realising. I thought I knew a few bits about being here, but now I've learned so much just by working in somewhere in the city that I live in, and I really am inspired to do much more.